Hello everybody, it's Patty here with Patty Stitches. Today is March the 23rd, 2026, and this is episode 343. On today's show, I have whips and hauls, so sit back and relax. Grab your beverage of choice, water for me, your craft of choice, and let's chat. So how was everybody's week? Mine was good. It was cold, but yeah, it finally did start warming up, and in fact today it was nice enough that I went ahead and went to the gym. So exciting. Yeah, it was warmer than 20 below today, so I went ahead and said, you know what, it's just gonna get better. So if I want to get myself better, I need to go. So I did, and I was very happy I did that. So yeah, Friday, I went to knitting at the library. A lot of fun with the girls. We are getting together to do a train ride from Fairbanks to outside Denali Park and back. So that'll be fabulous. We'll spend the afternoon, have some lunch, find a nice place to sit and knit until it's time to take the train back to Fairbanks. So that'll be fun. It'll be a fun trip, but that's not until August. So yeah, but we have to get it together and get our tickets and everything. So perfect. Didn't see the littles this weekend. My son was working this weekend. I think the weekends that my son works, they're not going to be coming over, which is fine. I totally get not wanting to get the kids together and bring them over, especially since it was cold this weekend. So I get it. I get it. So, but that is about all the blathering that I have for you this week. Shall we get on with the stitching? I think so. Okay. You are going to see I'm going to take more drinks this week because for some reason my throat is itchy. So I don't want to start coughing. All right, so this project I worked on Monday, and then I worked on it this weekend. And this is Once Upon a Fairy Tale, art by Amy Stewart, designed by Heaven and Earth Designs. I am stitching this on 25 count, easy guide. Let me throw that up here. 1/1. I did complete a diagonal, so this diagonal is completed. This is the end of the page. It did do the page broke in like 3 lines in that 10 block. So 30 stitches should have gone to this page, but I just went ahead and ended it so that it's a 10 by 10 block. And this one, the page did end that way. At the 10, so I will keep doing that, just keeping it the 10 by 10 completely, because I want to do that. I don't like having staggered blocks like that, so I just went to heck with it and did it. So that's where I'm at. Super exciting. So I'm over halfway done with that page. And tons of pages more to go. Oh. All right, then I pulled out Winter Montage, which is a kit by Janlin. And this is being stitched on a 14 count with the floss and fabric that was in the kit. So let go. I worked on more of the brown and I think more of the green. I think I did, yeah. I did some leaves and I got more of the brown. So that is where I'm at on this one. It was fun. Okay. Then I worked on Ink Circles, Another Year Creeps By. Oops, and I am stitching this on need my eyeballs, sorry. 32 count Helix Lugana by Picture This Plus. So that's where I'm at. And this took care of my E for eyeball on my acrostic, which I could probably just tell you at the end. Okay, and this one, the whole first outside border is done for the first block. This is 800, I believe it was 876 stitches to finish a border. So, yeah. And I did double check and triple check that I have enough. So it's 3 by 4 and I have all that fabric. So 3 may be a little bit close, but 4 is definitely okay. So that's where I'm at on that. And this one, I'm not going to talk to you about next month's acrostic until next Monday, but I'll give you a hint. You will be seeing this one again. Okie dokie. And then I worked on my Whip Go project. So this is the second Whip Go for this month, and this is my Just Nan Spider Moon. I'm stitching this on 32 count Round Trip by Fortnite Fabrics. Sorry for the glare, but super cute, lots of fun. And I know I've talked about this before that I wasn't going to do the words. Well, I broke down and did the words. So, which I am glad I did. I finished the words on the first, which says Beneath the Spider Moon. And then I finished all the ghosts. I think I was on this ghost, and then I finished that ghost. I did all of the other stitching in there. So the ghosts are done. The pumpkins need back stitch. And then this, there's 2 goblin faces or witches faces here. And oh, there's so many quarter stitches that I kept wanting to do it. I was going to try to finish at least all of that and then do the words later. But yeah, quarter stitches, bane of my existence. But I am super jazzed about how that turned out, especially the lettering, because it looks really cool in person. So that is where I'm at. I haven't done all of the border, and I was planning on not doing all of the border, but we'll see. Once I get it done, then I'll decide if I want to do any more border. But I do like that project a lot. Then I worked on Modern Folk Embroidery Sal, which is Little Acorns. I am stitching this on a 36 count Winter Brew by R&R. Using 2 silks for you. And I'm really happy to report, I gotta move that I finished Marches. So February and March are done. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I absolutely love it. So April is doing this set of words and this set of words. So this Friday, I'm going to go down and finish the border. So then I'll have January done. I'm going to count and recount before I just do the lines, because this panel is so big that I don't want to have to do parts of the panel to get it to go down there. I'll just count really, really carefully. And then once I get that done, maybe I will do a little bit of this to make sure the bottom is done. But I have to take some stitches out of here, take this across, and then the bottom across, and take some stitches off for the bottom. But that is where I am at. I am so happy. And it only took me that Friday to finish this section. So I worked a little bit, I think Thursday night, and then Friday I just finished it. So all the back stitching is done on March as well. February I didn't do the back stitching. I'll look again and see if it really needs it, but I don't think it does. I think they look really good without it. So, but look at those little bees. Aren't they cute? And the deer is so pretty. So that is where I am at on this one. Super happy. I will be all caught up after I get the borders done. So I'll show you. So April is this one and that one. And letters seem to go by so fast. So, and I've only got just one black animal that next time, so it's just the one squirrel. But I would have to do some type of way to get all of that, to get this border done, and then a little bit of that to get the last border done. So yeah, and I don't know if I want to do that. So yay for that. Okay. Oops. That's its frame. All right, and the last project I worked on is Saga by Long Dog Samplers, and this is on 32 Count Stormy Lugana by, I think this one is this Weigart. And I am on this one. So I'm on this one right here. So I'm almost halfway done with the top. So I did finish this. I got all of that done, and then I started working on the vignettes border, I guess. So yeah, I'm really happy. I have made some decisions about this, but I will talk to you about that in just a second. But that's where I'm at on it. I really am liking it a lot. It is so much fun. And that is all that I stitched on last week. I think I did pretty good. All things considered, I did pretty good. So I have made some changes with the stitching. Saga is only going to be stitched on at night, Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to pull Gamer back out, and Gamer and Once Upon a Fairy Tale are going to take turns. It all depends on how I'm feeling. It could be that I want to just work on Once Upon a Fairy Tale until I get that page finished, and then I can work on Gamer and get a page finished and just go back and forth. There isn't another full coverage I want to do until July, and that is a new start in July is going to be a full coverage to go along with what is it, Fanatics? Full coverage Fanatics and their Tour de France. So, and I'm going to go for the Gusto and do the every day except for the rest days with that new start. That will be the first thing I work on, and then I will just do different things after that because they're like 100 to 200 stitches. So it's not going to be a big thing to do that full coverage. I've got it almost kitted out with all of my floss. I'm going to have to go through my main floss stash for 10 colors. I didn't think that was bad, that I actually was able to pull every color except for 10 out of the overflow. So I'm pretty happy about that. I think that worked out really well. So that's a little bit of planning here. So Saga won't get as much work done since it's not going to be weekends, unless one weekend I just say, hey, let's just do it. But for now, that's what I want to do. I want to get a lot on Once Upon a Fairy Tale, and I want to get Gamer going again. I like Gamer. Gamer's beautiful, and I want her done. I just got burnt out in January. I have to admit, I really did. So if I travel again, I'm going to have to take more than 2 projects. Yeah. And not mess up one so bad that I wanted to throw it against the wall. So that is all of the plans and stitching purchases. I did do a purchase from Garon Stitchery, and it was from a market purchase, and this is Witch House Sampler by Twin Peaks Primitive. Isn't that cool? And it is all DMC, and it's 12 colors. So I will probably just pull from my fancy flosses to see if I have enough to do that. The only one, let's see, I think it said black was the only one that you needed more skeins, so I'll just use black since I will need 3 skeins of black, and then the rest is just a little bit. So I'll go through my DMC book, pull out the colors from there, and yeah, I think it's going to be so much fun. So there's another plan here. I will tell you in just a second. I also received a whole bunch of cross-stitch freebies from the market purchase. So I had a whole bunch, and I wasn't going to do a 250 patriotic stitch because I didn't have any. First off, I have Let It Rain, or Let It Ring, I'm sorry. I have Let It Ring that I work on for American holidays, but this one came, Jeanette Douglas. This was one of the freebies, and I can show it to you like this. So this is the one that I'm going to do to commemorate, that's the word, sorry guys, commemorate 250 years for American independence. So I'm going to do that, and I am going to start this on the 1st of April, just so I can have it done before July. It is, let's see, what does it say? It's 123 by 56. I've got it all kitted out. I'm going to be stitching it on 32 count dirty linen. And I think this is a Witchelt. So I'm going to put it on this. And I pulled all the DMC colors. So here's the colors for that. So this is going to be, this is the only one I'm going to talk to you guys about, just because it was part of a purchase. So got all the DMC, and yeah, I can't wait to start this on the 1st. And the Witches Sampler, House Sampler, well, okay, yeah, I will be starting this one as well. I just need to get the pick out my fabric and do the floss, but I won't do that until later, because this is going to be for a while before I well, I'm starting it in April, but it'll be a while before I start it in April. So I'm sorry, just going blah all over the place. So I hope that if you're new, that you found something that you liked to see, and will come back week after week. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back week after week. I really do appreciate it. I hope that you are all staying safe, healthy, and happy. And I hope that whatever you craft it to your heart's content. And I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.